Hi, I'm Megan and welcome to my kitchen. I'm super excited to share today's video with you. Each year during Christmas, my mom and siblings and I get together and we make all kinds of Christmas goodies. We then put those in tins and boxes and give those to our neighbors, family, and friends. Today I'm going to share with you some of our favorite edible Christmas gifts. These are more of ideas of things to make rather than formal recipes, but they are super easy to put together. They're very budget friendly and everyone loves them. One of the people I give these treats to every year is our mail lady, Lynn. She always leaves the sweetest thank you notes in our mailbox after I give them to her, and she says she loves having something to munch on while she's making her deliveries. I hope you'll give some of these a try. I know your family and friends will love them, or I hope this inspires you to get in the kitchen and make some edible Christmas gifts of your own. This would be a great family activity to do together. Let's get into these yummy Christmas treats. First up, I'm going to show you how I made hot cocoa spoons. I've been wanting to try these for the past couple of years, and today as I was setting everything out, I realized that I pretty much had everything that I needed to make them. So I gave them a try. I think they turned out super cute and they were really easy to put together. So let me show you how I made these. So first, with what you'll need some almond bark. Now here I have vanilla and chocolate. I just got this at Walmart. It was about $2.50 for each package, but it makes a ton. And then you're going to need some spoons. Now, I'm just using some cheapy plastic spoons. You can use the nice wooden ones. You can get those from Amazon or the craft store if you would like. But I'm just using the plastic. And then you'll need whatever toppings you want to use. So here I've got some crushed up candy canes, some Christmas sprinkles, different kinds, and then some marshmallows. And that's what you'll need. And we'll pretty much use most of these ingredients for all of the things that we'll make today. And then I do just want to note, for all of the things that we're making today, you do not have to spend a lot of money on these at all. You can absolutely get things from the Dollar Tree or even Walmart for really cheap. Or you can just use whatever you have on hand. Now, if you have the money and you want to, spend a little bit extra on them, you can, but you absolutely don't have to. They turn out delicious and cute either way. So to make these, I've just taken some wax paper and laid it down on the counter. I've then taken a few squares of the almond bark and melted it in this bowl according to the instructions on the back. Next, I'm going to take my plastic spoons. I've washed and dried these, and I'm going to dip these into the chocolate and then lay them down onto the wax paper. And then before the chocolate sets, you just want to add whatever toppings that you want to add. Now, like I mentioned here, just use whatever you have or whatever you like. I am using some crushed up candy canes, different kinds of sprinkles, along with some marshmallows. I also found this caramel sauce in the refrigerator and I used that. The caramel sauce didn't turn out that great. It didn't really set up and get hard like I wanted it to, but we just used it that day. So I wouldn't do the caramel again, but all of the other toppings turned out really great. And then once I do the chocolate, then I'm going to do the exact same thing with the vanilla almond bark. And you can make how many ever spoons you want, but once you get done, you'll want to leave these out on the counter for a couple of hours until the chocolate is completely hardened, and then they'll be ready to package up. Next up, I'm going to make some Snowmen Oreos. Now, to be honest, I was just going to cover the Oreos in chocolate and nothing else, but I realized that I had the things on hand that I could make little snowmen. So I gave that a try, and I think they turned out really cute. So again, what you'll need is some more of the almond bark. You'll need some Oreos. And then for my snowman face, again, I'm just using what I have on hand. So I'm using some chocolate chips for the eyes. I used some little orange Tic Tacs for the nose. And then I'm using some of these little round sprinkles that were in that container of sprinkles that you saw in the previous clip. And so what I'm going to do is just dip my Oreo into the almond bark. And I found that it's easiest to do this with a fork. And then I'm going to take the chocolate chips and make little eyes. I'm going to add the Tic Tacs for their little nose and then put the little sprinkles on for their mouths, and that's it. And again, you'll want to leave these on the wax paper and allow them to completely harden for a couple of hours before you package them up. And here is the finished product. Like I said, I think these are super cute and they were really easy to put together. And my husband, he loves Oreos and he said they were delicious. Next up, we're going to make some chocolate covered peanut butter crackers. We make these every year. It might sound a little bit weird. If you've never had these, you might be like, chocolate peanut butter crackers, what? But trust me, they are delicious. If you like Reese's or the chocolate peanut butter combination, you will love these. So here's what you'll need. You'll need, again, some of the chocolate and vanilla almond bark, and I've just melted that. And then you'll need some peanut butter crackers. You can absolutely make your own peanut butter crackers just with some Ritz and peanut butter. But just to make it easier, I like to buy these. I just get these at the dollar store or the Dollar Tree. And then you're, again, going to need whatever toppings or sprinkles that you want to use. So to make these, again, I've got some wax paper down on the counter. I've heated up some of the almond bark according to the package instructions. And then again, I just have my fork here, and I'm just going to take one of the peanut butter crackers at a time, dip them into the chocolate, place them onto the wax paper, and then again, just top them with whatever toppings you like, or you can leave them plain. You don't have to add sprinkles. I just like to add the sprinkles because it's festive, but you can just leave them plain. And just a quick note too, you can do more than one at a time. You can dip maybe 4 or 5 at a time and then add the sprinkles. You just want to make sure that if you're adding sprinkles or anything on top, that you add them before the chocolate has already set. And then I'm just going to repeat the process for the vanilla almond bark. And just like with the hot cocoa spoons, you can make as many of these or as few of these as you want. You just want to make sure you buy enough peanut butter crackers and enough almond bark to make how many ever you'd like. And here are the finished products. I'm going to allow them to set for a couple of hours and then package them up. I really hope you give these a try if you've never had them before. They're really delicious. Next up, we're going to make some chocolate covered pretzels. It just would not be Christmas if we didn't make these. We all love them. Everyone that we give them to loves them. I know that you can buy these in the store, but they can be pretty pricey, and it's so much cheaper to make at home. So here's what you'll need. You'll need some pretzels. I'm just using some of the mini twists, but I've done the big pretzel rods before, and those are super, super cute, and they're a lot easier. It doesn't take as much time to dip all the individual pretzels. And then again, you'll just need the almond bark and then whatever sprinkles or toppings that you want to add. So just like with the other treats, I've got some wax paper down on my counter. I've melted some of the almond bark according to the package instructions. I've got my handy dandy fork here, and I'm just going to dip the pretzels, put them onto the wax paper, and then again, before the chocolate sets, I'm going to add some sprinkles. Again, you don't have to add the sprinkles. I like to just because they're festive, but you can leave them off. And you're just going to keep going until you have how many ever pretzels that you want, and that's it. And just a quick note about this almond bark, like I mentioned earlier, it's very forgiving, and it really is the perfect consistency to dip items, and then it hardens really nicely, so I really recommend it. But as you're dipping things, if you notice that it starts to get a little thick on you, all you have to do is just pop it back into the microwave for about 10 or 15 seconds and give it a stir, and it comes right back to life. And here are the finished pretzels. So I did some in the chocolate and then some in the vanilla, and same thing, I'm just going to allow these to set out for a couple of hours before I package them. Next up, I'm going to make some peanut butter blossom cookies. We love these. They're super easy to put together. Now, every Christmas, my mom makes homemade peanut butter cookies. She uses the recipe that I think just calls for like 3 ingredients. And so normally I'll use some of her cookie dough, or I'll just use like the peanut butter cookie dough in a tube. This year, I decided to use these Reese's peanut butter just place and bake cookies, and they turned out really well. So to get started, I've got a bowl of sugar here on the counter, and I'm just taking the cookie dough, and you'll do this whether you're using store-bought cookie dough or homemade cookie dough, but you'll just want to roll the balls into the sugar and place them onto your cookie sheet and then bake them according to your recipe instructions. And once your cookies are done, you'll pull them out of the oven, and you want to take some Hershey Kisses and place them on top. You want to do this while the cookies are still warm, and you can use whatever kind of Hershey Kisses you want. They do have like the peppermint kind. That would be really good to use, but you just want to allow these to cool completely until the chocolate hardens back up for a couple of hours. And here are the finished cookies. Next up, I'm making some dipped peanut butter cookies. Like I mentioned before, my mom always makes homemade peanut butter cookies for Christmas. I like to dip some of them just because, again, that chocolate peanut butter combination is delicious. So what I've done here is I have about half of the cookies left from the place and bake cookies, and I've just allowed those to cool completely. And then I'm going to take, again, some of this almond bark. I'm going to do some in the chocolate and some in the vanilla, and that's all that you'll need. So again, here I've just melted that almond bark. I've got my wax paper out on my counter. I'm going to take the cookies and dip them about halfway into the chocolate and then place them on the wax paper. And then if you want to use sprinkles, you can. I'm going to add some sprinkles, and then that's it. Now, like I said, I'm using this place and bake peanut butter cookie dough. You can use homemade, of course, but honestly, you can also just grab like the peanut butter cookies in the bakery section of your grocery store that are already done. That makes it super easy and even quicker, and you can just dip those. No one will know, but all I've done here is, again, I've just dipped those. I'm going to keep going until I've used up my cookies, and then I'm just going to allow these to cool on the counter for a couple of hours, and that's it. And here are the finished cookies. Finally, I'm going to make some Chex Mix. Now, my sister normally makes the Chex Mix, but because we aren't gathering together this year to make our treats, I went ahead and made it. It's so good, and what I like about it is you can totally customize it and use whatever you like. So first, you'll need your Chex cereal. I got this on BOGO at Publix, but you can also just use a store brand cereal. Now, the recipe for Chex Mix, I just use the actual recipe from the Chex brand cereal. It calls for the wheat, corn, and rice. I don't prefer the wheat, so I just use double of the corn and rice amounts. And then you can use, again, whatever other ingredients you like. So here are the combinations that we love. So I'm adding some peanuts, mixed nuts, some bugles, these bagel chips that I got from Aldi, goldfish, and pretzels. And then for this sauce, you'll need butter, Worcestershire sauce, garlic powder, seasoned salt, and onion powder. And I will include the recipe for this in the description box below. To put the Chex Mix together, you're just going to take everything except your butter, Worcestershire, and seasonings, and you're going to mix it in a large mixing bowl. Now, I started adding everything to this white mixing bowl and quickly realized I did not have enough room to add everything and stir it up really well, so I ended up separating it into 2 different large mixing bowls. But you just want to mix everything together, and again, you can customize this, use whatever you like. Now that that's mixed together, I'm going to set it aside and I'm going to get started on my butter mixture. So in a separate small bowl, I'm just going to add the butter, the Worcestershire sauce, the garlic, the seasoned salt, and the onion powder. And I'm sorry, that's garlic powder, not fresh garlic. And then you're just going to pop that into the microwave and melt it until the butter is melted. And then you're going to drizzle it over your Chex Mix and give that a good stir. Now to finish the Chex Mix, you can cook this in the oven or in the microwave. If you want to do the oven, you'll preheat your oven to 250 degrees and you'll cook this for a total of an hour. But every 15 minutes, you'll want to make sure you take the Chex Mix and give it a nice stir. If you cook this in the microwave, you'll cook this for a total of 5 to 6 minutes, giving it a stir every 2 minutes. And to make it easy today, I just cooked it in the microwave. And then once it's done, you'll want to place it onto paper towels on your counter and just allow this to cool out on your counter. And here's the finished Chex Mix. Next, I will get it packaged up. Now that everything has cooled and set, we're going to get everything packaged up and ready to hand out. So again, you do not have to spend a lot of money on this at all. You can use things that you have around your house. You can also find some really cute things at the Dollar Tree. That's where I got most of the things that you'll see today. They have really cute cellophane treat bags. They've got cookie tins and cookie boxes. You can also find some things pretty inexpensively at Walmart or at the dollar store, or you can also order them from Amazon. But for these hot cocoa spoons, I just had some cellophane treat bags. These aren't decorated. They're just plain, but I had them left over from earlier this year. I've placed some hot cocoa spoons in there, and then I'm going to take some of this white ribbon that I have left over. I also found some snowman ribbon that I believe I got at the Dollar Tree last year, and I'm just going to tie those up. And then that's it. And I think these are super cute. We used a couple of them this night in our hot chocolate, and they were really good. And a little cute idea for a gift would be to take some of these hot cocoa spoons, to add a package of hot cocoa mix, and then to put those into a little coffee mug. You can get those at the Dollar Tree or other stores right now for pretty inexpensively, and that would be a really cute gift. And here's one of the little tins that I got from the Dollar Tree. And all I'm going to do is just to take an assortment of the goodies that I made today and to place those into the tin. And then that's it. They're ready to go. And for the Chex Mix, you can absolutely just put these in Ziploc bags. They also have Christmas Ziploc bags right now that are really cute. But I just got these containers at the Dollar Tree. And so I'm just going to add the Chex Mix and cover them. And then that's it. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen today. I really hope you give some of these a try, whether you give these away as gifts or whether you just enjoy them as your family. It's always nice to get homemade gifts, and especially ones that you can eat. What could be better? I hope you and your family have a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.